Welcome to Fit for Life. I'm Karen McKenzie. It's good to see you again. And we're going to do some stretching today because I think stretching is kind of neglected. I named this show Stretching the Truth. And then I wrote, the truth is we neglect to do it. Somehow we feel we don't need it. We did talk about this last month, but I'm sure you didn't remember every word I said. So we need to be reminded there are two kinds of stretching. There's static, which is just holding something, and then there's dynamic, and we're going to start with that, just standing up and kicking and moving, but stretching at the same time. It improves posture when we stretch, makes us look taller, just pulling the chin in. Just that one thing. If you can just remember one thing, it makes a big difference. And do it while you're driving, okay? Makes you look better, makes you sit up straighter in the seat, and it's just good. Your head weighs a lot, and when your head comes forward like that, it's a strain on your upper back. So just pull that chin and you'll be able to breathe better too. It prevents injuries to the muscles. I mean, that alone should be a reason for doing it. It circulates the blood in your body. You want to get that going. You don't want it to just puddle. It's good for the stiffness of arthritis, especially. Just doing this is good for your wrists and your hands, and maybe doing this with your fingers, anything you can think of. Speaking of arthritis, especially in the cold weather, just rub your hands together, and it creates a warmth. So they get nice and warm. Put your hands right here on your knees and massage those knees. It helps a little bit. It gets the blood circulating in there. And stretching actually relieves stress too, because you're moving slowly and you know you're doing something good for yourself. And you will feel better even though it's a little tough in the beginning. And the more you do, the easier it gets. So keep that in mind. So we're going to stretch, we're going to move, and we're going to start with dynamic stretching today, and we're going to stand up. I've got a few things listed here for you, but if you want to keep those legs strong, we're going to get up like this. So keep that in mind. Very good. I'm going to move my chair back just a little bit. So we are going to do dynamic stretching. We're going to be moving while we stretch. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is just march in place. That's all. What could be easier than that? Just getting that blood moving. And you can count if you want. You can do 20 if you want. If you want to do more, that's okay. A little less, it's fine. At least you're doing something. So just marching. And if you use your arms, some people walk like this. You burn more calories. It's just an additional way to move without using any equipment at all, just marching in place. Good. Another good dynamic stretch is just to kick out. Now, if you have trouble with balance, you can hold on to your chair and kick so you can get that leg up higher. So we'll say 3 and 4. And feel that nice stretch in the back of your leg and your hamstrings and your lower back too. Now, sometimes I lose count, but we'll just keep going. See if you can keep up with me. And again, if you can't kick that high, just doing this is movement. Another thing we can do, and this is a good strengthener for your quadriceps, is just to lift those knees up. Lift them up. Use your arms if you want. Again, if you need to hold on, you come back, hold on to the chair, or you might have a wall to hang on to at the same time. So we're just going to lift those knees up, lift them up. If you go fast, it becomes more aerobic, doesn't it? And you might want to put some music on, and that helps. It makes everything easier, especially if it's for the right music, the correct music that matches the way we feel. When it's lively, it makes us feel livelier. So don't neglect to put some music on when you exercise. Another good exercise is second position. Do you remember in ballet, opening those feet right up? Just doing our nice, easy lunges. So we're strengthening and stretching too. You're stretching the inside of your leg. We'll go back and forth. Now, to make this even more effective, how about this? I like this one. It's easy to do. We're moving moving. Good. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Let's do 16, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you know, if you want to do more, that's fine. Let's relax just for a minute. Drop forward. We're going to stretch that lower back out. You can keep your head up. You never have to let your head hang down. If it makes you feel dizzy, it might. Most of you are probably in pretty good shape right now, but you want to maintain that. You know, you need to stretch. You need to do strength training twice a week. Stretching, you can do it even before you get up in the morning. We've done exercises just lying there in bed staring at the ceiling. Another little stretch for the feet. Just lift the heels up and do a little bit of a dip, a dipping movement. And that's great for what? Your foot. Stretching that foot out. As we get older, they get a little more sensitive. So you want to keep them stretched out too. And this is just one of the many exercises that we can do for our feet. So keep lifting those heels, good. All right, now let's do a little more of these knee bends. Just bending the knee, coming back up. And 2. Now, if you have arthritis in your knees, you might feel this. We're all at a different level. For most of us, we can still do it. And if you do enough of them, eventually the knees will feel a little better. It doesn't mean it takes the arthritis away. We have to live with it. But it doesn't mean stop moving. That's your enemy. Just sitting, watching Netflix, which is wonderful. No commercials, but we're sitting for too long. No circulation, not using the brain at all, straining our eyes. I do it, but I'm trying to do a little less of it. Don't you love these? Aren't they easy to do? Yes, they are. They are. Now we're going to do one more forward bend before we sit and do static stretching. So I'm going to move back a little bit and just drop down. And all you're doing is letting the upper weight in your body pull you down. And the longer you stay there, the further down you'll be able to go. Good. And then we're going to come back up. Here's one more. This just came to my mind, and this is one we should be doing maybe the first thing, especially in the morning. Just bending those knees again and bringing your arms back. A nice stretch for the shoulders. And this will be 2. Count to yourself, or don't count at all. You can just watch me, but try to do 8 or 10. So we're still stretching. We're getting a good stretch. We might be a little bit taller after this one too. I like this one. It involves most of the body, all of the torso. As I said, your shoulders, your arms, up. Oh, and one more. I just thought of one more, and I really like this one. Just open the feet a little bit, not way out here, and not closed, but just naturally. Good. Rolling up those sleeves. A nice, easy, soft knee rather than locking them. You want to keep them soft, and we're just going to just touch. Give yourself a tap here at the hip. It'll wake up your kidneys, for one thing. This is something that I've seen in yoga classes. So just tap the body, tap, side to side. We're almost through with our standing stretching, side to side. So how do you feel? Are you getting warm? Good. And as we go along, it'll get easier and easier. I'm going to take the chair sideways. You can use your own chair. You can still watch. You don't have to turn your chair at all. And you know we do this after most classes, don't we? To stretch all the way from the neck all the way down to your ankles. So we're going to hold on and do our table back. And I know you've done it before, and we're going to do it again. So let's walk back. A nice stretch, stretch. So you're stretching the back of your legs too. In your back, of course. Back of your legs, your hamstrings. We're going to bend those knees and try to go down a little bit further. If you have a mirror or there's a bureau, if you're doing this in a bedroom, you can look and see or ask someone if your back is flattening out. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be because you're not used to doing this. But we are stretching, as I said, from the neck all the way down to the heels. And then we'll walk back up. Put one foot in front, just a little bit, nice and tall. Tuck under a little bit. Bring the arm up, and then think of pushing your hips toward the chair just a little bit, which will protect your lower back while you're doing this, because I'm sure you don't do this much, if at all. But we need to stretch back too. We don't do enough of that. So take this hand, put it right here at your neck, back of your head here. Again, pushing the hips forward, and just think of putting your head down on a pillow. That's a wonderful stretch. And if it hurts, or you hear something that sounds a little weird, just don't do it. All right, and we're going to go back again. We're going to flatten that back right out. Good. Now this time you'll be able to go down a little bit more. You really will. Now if your legs start to be really uncomfortable, you can bend those knees here too. You're still getting a nice stretch, getting a good calf stretch too. So let's flatten that back right out. And we're going to walk back up. I would rather you held that longer than we just did, 20 seconds at least, so you can do less longer rather than so many repetitions. Good. We'll put the other foot in front, so we're using same arm and leg. Your hips, you're going to just tuck under a little bit. You're going to lift that arm up. I want you to see me. And we'll do a little bit, just a little bit of a back bend. Again, if this really hurts, don't do it. Just wait for us. And now we're going to sit down and grab our water. I hope you all have water by your side. Sometimes we forget. So you can drink during exercise or between exercises. You don't have to wait till the end. You can start with a little bit, end with a little bit, and then now and then, as you see me do. My trusty water container here. So now we're going to do static stretching. Very refreshing. Wakes me up a little bit. Static stretching. All right. A little bit of that above the knees. And I think we're going to start. I'm going to slide forward a little bit. All right. We're going to just lift that leg right up. We're going to be stretching our hamstrings back here. Underneath or here. If your knees are in pretty good shape, you can do it here. If not, underneath, but try to get that leg up and pull it right into your body and keep nice and straight. Boy, that feels good. Let's drop the head down. We'll stretch the back of the neck, won't we? And just hold it 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8, 9, and 10. When you do it on your own, try to do it for at least 20 seconds, okay? Now let's try the other leg. We're going to lift this leg up. One side will be easier than the other. So we're just lifting and pulling toward the body, toward your chest. Drop that chin right down. And of course, we're doing it for a while first before we start counting, so that's good. Now let's say this is 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, and 10. Pull it in. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Don't you feel better now? I do. All right, hands right here on the knees again. Let's sit up nice and straight. Pull the shoulders down, and let's do the one I've already showed you. Just pull that chin in and stay nice and straight. You should be able to breathe better when you're straight like this rather than all the crowding we do in here, because again, not good for breathing. So let's pull up nice and tall. We're going to look up at the ceiling, hold it, look straight ahead, and let's do an ear drop. What is an ear drop? We've done it before many times. Just ear down to the shoulder. Don't lift the shoulder up. Just keep it down as much as you can. And then the other side, and we'll hold it. for a few seconds here, and then we'll go back. Good. Let's try another one. Again, you're going to be holding all of these, actually for as long as you can. That would be good. Terrific. Okay, now we're going to do some stretches for the spine. And we're going to just breathe up through the nose as we lift the arms up, all the way up. Good. And then we're going to drop down. Great. Can you grab your ankles or just touch them? Or touch here, this part of the leg, just above the ankle. Drop down, keep your head up. I know I say it maybe too much, but I just want you to be as comfortable as possible so that you'll want to keep exercising. So this is spinal flexion. We've done it many times. What is spinal extension? The opposite, I guess, right? So you're just going to lift those arms up. See how my shoulders come up? I want you to pull them down, okay? And just hold them. 2, palms are facing, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. I'm tapping my toes, and 10, 11, 12 and 13, 14 and 15, 16, 17, wow, 18, 19 and 20. That's terrific. So we did what? Spinal flexion. Then we did extension. We're flattening out that upper curve in the back also when we do this. So you're stretching your spine. Let's do a little bit of these. Just push back, and again we'll push back. Now I know we're moving on this one, but that's okay. Even though it's a static, basically a static stretch. We'll do one more of those. Good. And then we'll bring the arms down. Now we're going to do spinal rotation. I like this one. It feels like you're really doing something for yourself. Now you can go all the way back if you want, although I think coming forward a little is better. Let's take both hands to the opposite side so that this arm crosses, doesn't it? And watch out for your back, nice and straight. Pull that chin in again. Pull the shoulders down as you rotate the spine. Do you hear any clicking when you do that? I didn't hear any clicking today, but I've been exercising too, so just pull yourself around, but see, my shoulders really want to go up, and we really don't want that. So, all right, let's try the other side, and this also can be done with the breath, the yoga breath that we do. So why don't we do that? Let's take a breath up through the nose, and then exhale as you turn. Again, you can have your back against the chair or not. Pull those shoulders down. This really does feel good. I hope you do, because I think it's wonderful. Great. And then we will come back slowly. Now the spine can also bend, but I think we know that, right? Let's do this. Take this hand. I'm your mirror, so you're using the same arm. I'm not going to say right or left. Cross it over. With this arm, you're going to take a breath as you lift it up. And exhale, keeping the arm perfectly straight. And this really should feel good. Oh, you know you're doing something good for yourself. You're preventing injury to your other muscles when you're doing other exercises. So many really easy things you can do for yourself. You don't have to get complicated and have all different kinds of equipment. So let's take this, cross it over, breathing up as you bring that arm up. Reach for the sky and over. Think of up and over to get a really, really good stretch in there. And we're holding it. We're not moving around, so it's a static stretch. So you warm up in the beginning when we're doing dynamic stretching. You're actually warming the body up, because you don't want to stretch, just stretch without exercising first. Now when you're through with your exercises, that's when you do the static, just so you'll know that. So we start with dynamic, we end with static. And if it's confusing or you want to know more about it, just Google it. The whole world is there in our phone, isn't it? It really is. All right, let's try this one. Cross, grab your elbows, And let's bring the arms up. Maybe eye level, as high as you can go on this one, or maybe a little higher like this. This is a good one. I like this one. And let's do the yoga eagle for the upper body. Elbow over elbow. This is a really good stretch too. Now I want you to just breathe out this time. Breathe out as you bring the hands back. Can you touch at all? Just a thumb or finger to thumb. It doesn't matter. Or whatever you can do. Even if you can't touch, you're still getting some benefit. This is also done, as I said, standing, with the leg doing the same thing. It's a little more ambitious. And then we'll try the other side. So this part's not too bad, but trying to bring those hands back together. You can feel that, right? I know you can. Good. But it's good that you're trying these things. Even if you think you can't do it, you can. And as I said, you're still moving. So that's wonderful. Let's turn the palms. Let's just take a little breath here. Breathe out. Terrific. Move those feet forward a little bit. Just bring your arms up as much as you can and hold it here. You're doing great. Now you can touch the back of your head, your neck, or clasp your hands and do it. I like to do it that way without messing my hair up, of course. And you're going to breathe out as you bring the elbows back. Can you feel that? Can you feel your shoulder blades coming together? Try it again. Breathe up and out through the mouth. Get those shoulders back. Wow, that feels pretty good, doesn't it? All right, let's do a little bit of a turn, just a little bit. It might not be terribly comfortable, but that's all right. We have to suffer to be in good shape, don't we? And then to the other side. Good. And then back. So let's relax for a minute and do nothing. Just be lazy. You can round your back. There is some benefit to rounding now and then with certain exercises, but you don't want to stay there. You want to do a lot more, and you want to hopefully keep your back straight. When you think of it, as I said, when you're driving, pull that chin in. If you're sitting too long, you're watching your screen, right? And that's why we're seeing so many children with poor posture. It's not good. Once those bones form, it's hard to unform them, if at all. Pull the chin right in. Be nice and tall. That's terrific. Okay? All right, now we're going to do the yoga cat, which is kind of similar to what we just did, actually. Hands on your knees. Just pull the shoulders down. Again, we're just going to look up at the ceiling on this one. You're going to feel it now. Your back is nice and straight. It might feel almost like it's a little arched. Just do what you can do. Pull that chin in. Wonderful. And then we're just going to relax. Okay. Now we're going to do something for your ankles and your lower leg, your calf muscle, for the circulation in your feet, which is important. So we're just going to lift those legs up, and you're going to point and hold it this time. This is static stretching, so we're just holding. Can also be done this way too. But we're seated, and we're just going to stretch the front part of the lower leg. Again, try to hold that for about 20 seconds too. Then we'll do the opposite. We'll flex those toes or flex those feet so the toes are going back to the body. And if you want to tighten the abdomen, get your backs away from the chair and just sit there for a while. And it works. Easy stuff. Very easy stuff. Okay. All right, now another thing we can do, and this would be to strengthen the quadriceps, is just to lift your leg up and hold it there without, just see if you can hold it there as long as possible. You can feel it here. You can definitely feel it here. Put your hand right here and you can feel it. It's hard. It's tightening. It's toning. It works. It works. But we just have to do it. Let's try the other side and lift that up. I'm going to put both hands right here on the top of the leg and hold it and hold it. Good. I'm getting tired now. And then we'll put that leg down, all right? Now what I'd like you to try, and I kind of like this one, it's kind of easy, kind of fun to see if you can do it. But hold on right here. With this free arm, if you can do that, I want you to bend and just drop Drop the arm down. Can you touch the floor at all? I think most people can, but not everyone. And some people have longer arms than they have torso, and so they have trouble. But let's try the other side. And yes, we're just going to hold it. We're not bouncing or anything. So just, yeah, bring that arm right down. Wonderful. Oh, that feels good. And I know I'm going to feel better after stretching, and you will too. And you know what? It's time to relax. So I want you to grab some water, a little water, and just close your eyes. And for just about a minute, we're just going to kind of relax and release and let go of those muscles. Just let them be limp. Again, you're going to have to push down a little bit. You can just bring your legs out. Be comfortable. Arms here, maybe palms up toward the ceiling. And we're going to start with our yoga breath. And we're going to breathe up through the nose, holding for 2 seconds, and exhale through your mouth. Drop your chin right down. Good. Let's try to clear the mind. I'm going to think of a fireplace. That relaxes me, looking into the fire and hear the crackling, especially at this time of the year. It's getting colder. So just picture that. Let's take another breath, breathing up through the nose. Oh, I think I'm going to sleep already. And exhale. And as you exhale, you're going to become nice and relaxed, less anxious. If you are anxious, don't think about what you're going to do when you leave the chair. Just try to be in the moment, okay? It's called mindfulness meditation. So we're doing a real short meditation. Let's do one more before I say goodbye and see you next time. Let's do it. Breathing up, holding, and exhale. Bye for now.